Hi Cancer, welcome back to my channel Tarot Z. I am Z and I'm going to be doing your tarot reading, finding out what are the messages for the cards that come out in this reading for you today. Thank you so much for joining and for being here for the reading. So let's begin. Let's find out what cards come out and what messages come through with the cards. So the first card that we have is the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Wands. And we have the Ten of Cups. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Pentacles. So we do have some water sign energy. You could be dealing with another Cancer, Pisces, or even a Scorpio. But with this King of Pentacles showing up over here, this does feel like some practical energy. I do feel like also a desire for wanting to have a stable and even solid kind of foundation within a connection. And also when it comes to being able to make a decision to invest into something with someone. I do feel like with the Two of Cups showing up over here, this person that you're dealing with does desire a relationship. I do also feel like when it comes to the way you make this person feel, there's a desire to be able to have that with you. And also a sense of feeling like it is possible with you. So I do feel like as far as your connection on an emotional level, you do go together quite well. I do feel like this feels like complementing energy. With the Four of Wands, also this feels like energy that works quite well together. Do you feel like with the Four of Wands, this does feel like the sense of forming a solid foundation in a connection between two people? I also feel like with the Four of Wands, this does feel like celebratory energy. So being able to have and even build what may be a community around your connection, or it could even start out like that. I do feel like there is a sense of also having some reason to be able to go out, to be able to socialize, and kind of being able to have and establish a solid understanding and even connection through that and those experiences with somebody. And do you feel like with this Ten of Cups from up over here, this also feels like an energy of actually having in mind the long term and the future and thinking about that happily ever after? That's something this person has in mind. I do feel like with the King of Pentacles, you are dealing with somebody who is looking at things quite seriously. They take you seriously. They take your connection quite seriously. So I feel like this person could be somebody who takes themselves quite seriously. With this King of Pentacles showing up over here, this does feel like somebody who either they are older or they could be something quite mature about this person and even their outlook. Do you feel like you could be dealing with somebody who's quite established? This could be somebody who's a businessman or a businesswoman, and I do feel like it's somebody who prioritizes their career and has a lot of stability in their career and security. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have the Queen of Wands. We have the Nine of Wands. And we have the Lovers card. And with the Lovers card, we do have Gemini energy. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Swords. So it is in the reverse. So this Eight of Swords, this does feel like a sense of being able to actually get to a place of being able to take back one's power. So I do feel like this connection in some way is also one where there is a sense of experiencing some healing. I also feel like as far as being able to actually move from a place of feeling quite empowered. I do feel like there could have been a lot of past experiences that have also been something that have had an effect or an impact on somebody. So as far as this connection, there's a sense of actually wanting to be able to have something and also moving in a space of actually being in control of themselves and even feeling like there's a sense of being and acting from a space of they're taking back their power. I do feel like. So there does seem to be a sense of also kind of being able to heal from past experiences through this connection. There's something quite, it's like they're prioritizing their well-being in a way that's allowing for that sense of kind of taking back one's power. I do feel like with the Queen of Wands, this feels like a sense of also being quite attracted. I do feel like this does feel like charismatic energy. So there is something about this person you're dealing with. They're quite charismatic. They could be somebody who's quite fiery, but there is something about them that just makes them quite attractive. And I do feel like this energy is something that is also kind of drawing you into this person, or this person's really drawn to in you. And I do feel like with this Queen of Wands, this could also be your sense of confidence. There's something quite inspiring and also quite attractive about it. With the Nine of Wands showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of having had past experiences, and I do feel like also being in a space where there's a sense of keeping going, and it's like nothing's keeping you down, and trying to be kind of persevering when it comes to connections. And I do feel like with this Nine of Wands, this does feel like actually having had experienced your fair share of difficulties, or even just reasons to be quite guarded. So I do feel like this is a bit of a guarded energy, but when it comes to a situation, there is something about it that's kind of breaking, allowing you to be able to kind of break free. And I do feel like it's also something that's going to be allowing for being able to actually have something challenging those past experiences. I do feel like it does feel like also a connection that is quite important, it's meaningful, and you notice that it stands out. I do feel like with the Lovers card showing up over here, this also feels like a sense of having divine union between two people. I do feel like with the Lovers card, this connection goes quite deep. It's quite loving, as well as I also feel like it's quite strong. This does feel like having a passionate connection, but I also feel like it's also one that's peaceful with that Ten of Cups. This connection feels like it does go quite deep. I do feel like it is quite strong with the Lovers card and the Ten of Cups showing up over here. This does also feel like compatible energy, where two energies kind of blend in a way that really works. I do feel like with the Lovers card though, this also does feel like a sense of being in a space where there needs to be a deciding factor in this connection. I do feel like that sense of choice is being left to you. I do feel like there's a sense of you being in a position to make a decision for this connection. I do also feel like this person may be bringing some kind of a deciding factor to you, but I do feel like there's choice needing to be made when it comes to a way forward. And it's like it's putting you in the the ball's in your court. So I do feel like with the Lovers card, this especially is about being able to also find a way forward. And I do feel like this connection is one that is quite strong, it's quite deep. It is also one that's quite loving, and I even feel like it is a sense of having goodwill between two people. So I'm going to clarify these cards. We have Pisces with I Believe. And we have Virgo with I Analyze. And we have Air Element with Communicating. So you could be dealing with a Pisces or even a Virgo, but I do feel like with this Pisces card showing up over here, this does also feel like a sense of somebody really looking at things with a very beautiful outlook on your connection. And as far as the way this person feels about you and about your connection, it does feel like it is also something that is quite deep. And I also feel like there's also a sense of being in looking at things from a very romantic place, from a very romantic outlook. And I do feel like with the Pisces card, it could also be a strong spiritual connection to your connection, but there is a sense of somebody also being in a space where they really feel quite lost in this connection with you. It's almost as if being able to experience the sense of escapism in a very beautiful way with this person. With the Virgo card showing up over here, this does feel like an energy of being in a space where you could really be taking a lot of things into account when it comes to this connection, and whether it is something that is going to be fulfilling or is going to be worth it. I do feel like with that Nine of Wands, this also feels like a sense of being cautious of past experiences. And I do feel like it's about being able to actually put a lot of thought into things. And I do feel like there could even be a little bit of some overthinking things. But I do feel like it is also, it could be also a very wise way of looking at things, because with that Pisces card showing up over here, this feels like somebody who's really leaning onto the side of this connection where everything feels good. It's like they're not looking at it too intrinsically. But with this Air Element card showing up over here, I do feel like there's communication on the horizon for this connection. I also feel like the communication in this connection is also something that leads to a lot of clarity. And I do feel like there's going to be a conversation on the horizon that's going to also be important. I do feel like with this Eight of Swords showing up in the reverse, this connection is one that prioritizes your well-being, especially your mental well-being. you also feel like you do that for this person as well. So this does feel like a pretty strong sense of a mental connection, but I also feel like there's also an emotional connection as well. And with that King of Pentacles, this also feels like a sense of being able to have the resources to make things work with someone. So those are the messages I'm getting with these cards for you, Cancer, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye, Cancer.